I looked at the federal regulations, and it says corporations can't give directly to a federal candidate. But they can give to political action committees, which then turn around and give the money in any number of ways. How do you stop that? To me, it just I want more information. If you are a corporation, you want to give, and you have a city contract, I want to know who are your principal partners. I want to know how much is the contract worth, and I want it all in one disclosure form, so you can see it. And I can see it if there's someone's giving you, and that's, to me, is what I want to see. Is I want more information, not banning.
Well, we just had an ethics bill that came forward, and when we had an amendment that came forward which said that city contractors would have to disclose that they were city contractors, and that LLCs would have to say who the ownership of that group was, and it monumentally failed.
But would that be on your? I would vote for that.
But where does that leave? Where does that leave the rest of us? To me, it's something where it's become completely obvious that you have a handful of council members and a handful of corporations who are using a loophole in the law to circumvent. What is the spirit?
I would love to. Let's be specific about what the possible consequences of this are, and I'll put that in the hands of John in Petworth in D.C. John, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I was wondering about the $3,250 received from Omar Kareem by Muriel Bowser, from Muriel Bowser of Omar Kareem and Banneker Ventures. I was wondering if that sort of fed into the culture of the Wilson Building regarding sort of the questions about the contract that Banneker Ventures then received. I'm wondering if this is a good example of the potential pitfalls of allowing corporations to bundle in this way.
For those of people who are not familiar with Omar Kareem, he was a contractor with the city who came to prominence during the Fenty administration because he and Banneker Ventures were involved in fairly large contracts with the city. It must be said that there was a lot of controversy over those contracts. In the final analysis, however, they do seem to have delivered.
So let me, and not having Muriel's report in front of me, I don't know if these are checks that came through different subsidiaries of Banneker. But here would be my point. If Omar Kareem and his partners want to write a check to Muriel Bowser, I can call Omar Kareem and say, so why are you supporting Muriel Bowser? I can't call 123 Enterprises that doesn't have an email address, that doesn't have a website, that doesn't have a telephone number.
What if we required that? I mean, the council, you're right. They refused to pass it, and that was wrong. I think the council voted to obscure contributions, which is what you're fighting.
Right.
And I think also the bottom line is that most of these laws are already on the books. I mean, you are supposed to, the Office of Campaign Finance is supposed to look at when there are multiple sort of corporations stemming from the same address, they're supposed to look at this stuff, but it just doesn't happen. And it was like when Togo West said, just bring me more auditors. That's all I need. I mean, I think there's 2 full-time auditors working there right now. So, yes, we need to change. I mean, perhaps, the changing laws is one thing, but there also has to be more follow-up, more enforcement.
In case you're just